Hi, I know I don't have any followers, so I'm not expecting a huge amount of engagement on this video, but I wanted to just share. I don't know if they're my thoughts or if they're general thoughts. So over the weekend, obviously, there's the ColdPlay, the Kiss Cam scam, and what have you. And I, I saw two very diverse opinions on this, and I wasn't sure what to think. And I wasn't sure really what approach to take with this because I've been working in reputation management, online, offline, through media relations, PR, crisis comms, etc. for some time, uh, and it's an odd one because I think the company Astronomer did deal with the situation very quickly, very well. But I had an old colleague of mine from Publicis who pretty much posted immediately, and I'm sure he will, if he sees this, he'll absolutely hate it because he did sort of come down quite hard on people saying three things I've learned from, and all the memes and everything that have come out of this. And then you've got the other side of things where there was one of my distant followers on LinkedIn, who's based in the US, who came out, and it was hilarious because I opened it and I had to check if it was true or not. What he'd done, he changed his job to become the new chief crisis officer of the company, which had just gone through a bit of turmoil, put the CEO on leave for whatever reason. And I don't know which way do you go? Do you go with the lessons learned and bring it back to what you're doing, which is very much LinkedIn fodder, which is where I live. Although this is going out on YouTube, it will soon be across on LinkedIn as well. Um, so then I thought, bugger it, instead of trying to have an actual opinion of my own, because I'm not very good at those, um, I look at these two things that are going on, and then I also completely remove all responsibility and thinking from me, and I asked ChatGPT. So, so I just said, create an opinion. I know this is not really something that ChatGPT does because I think it tends to. I think we know how it works. It tends to just go out there into the internet, suck in, and look at what's out there and make a response based on what's already out there. Create an opinion on the whole situation from an online reputation perspective for both an individual and a company. Make this a refreshing perspective with three key learnings. And I asked for this specifically that do not sound cliched. I don't know if this worked, but I'm going to just give them to you now, and then we'll see where this goes. I think they may have been hackneyed and a little bit sort of seen before. Point number one, reputational amplification via public spectacle. This is no editing here. I'm literally just reading off, as you can see. This incident underscores the dramatic reach of unintended public moments. A moment designed for warmth and play at a concert exploded into a global scandal, not because it was inherently wrong, but because it unfolded live and unfiltered. My addition to this would be unfiltered is sometimes seen as a good thing, that whole authenticity thing, but obviously not so much here. For individuals, especially those in leadership, visibility is double-edged. This is something, again, side note, that I always teach my colleagues and anyone I'm training, that unfortunately, you are always on. It's very hard as a representative of the company, especially the higher up the ladder you go, to not be seen as an ambassador or an extension of that brand. Visibility is double-edged. What you don't intend to make news can very well become the headline, because that's probably the more authentic, less polished thing that the media and online may be looking for, especially with external reports of Byron's toxic leadership resurfacing. That comes from Vanity Fair, amongst others, according to ChatGPT. Key learning, even personal moments can morph into corporate crises. Leaders must live with the awareness that at any moment, everything is visible. Okay, so that's not groundbreaking, but valid. Thank you, ChatGPT. Number 2, the paradox of silence and reactive PR. Okay. So ChatGPT is claiming that astronomers' initial silence allowed the rumor mill to flood the narrative. I thought they were quite quick off the mark, actually. But maybe that's not the case. Memes, fake apologies, out of context statements, even legal speculation over power dynamics. But the board's eventual swift move to place the CEO on leave, initiate an investigation, and accept his resignation gestured decisively towards accountability. Key learning. In crises, the gap between silence and action is dangerous. I think in this case, a response was needed. I think sometimes silence, I mean, in a crisis that's definitely aimed at the company, it can be, you need to respond somehow, whether it's just a holding statement or whether there's an action or something. There does need to be something. But there are times when a company can over communicate. I think in a crisis, that's not the case. And silence can be golden, but not in this case. So I think ChatGPT got that one right as well. Again, I'm not getting my jaw is not dropping here based on any of these suggestions, but it's interesting stuff. Turning a crisis into introspection. Some have suggested this is blessing in disguise publicity, but beyond the meme level exposure, what really matters is what Astronomer does internally. Correct. The resurfacing of past cultural alarms tied to Byron, the CEO, shouldn't be chalked up to coincidence. Again, this is Vanity Fair. It's a great source for ChatGPT, it seems. This moment is a fork. Double down on governance, accountability, and ethical training, or return or don't change and stay as you were. So, okay, so what happened is exposed these deeper cultural issues, and now how the board reacts is going to be really important. Are they going to be quite vocal about any governance and ethics issues that they double down on? I think that's very important for the reputation as well. Okay, and then in true ChatGPT form, there is a final take, a refreshing reputational reframe. Number 1, visibility is inevitable. In a fractured media landscape, chance moments live forever. Thank you, Chris Martin. Leaders can't compartmentalize personal versus professional. That's very difficult. Number 2, values first response beats scripted PR. And that's the issue, is that sometimes these statements and response can seem very scripted, no matter how genuine and authentic they are. It's very important for the comms team, the crisis team, and the leadership to really think about how to respond correctly and in the best way for everybody involved. All stakeholders need to be taken into account. Admit, act, and be guided by internal standards, not just outside optics. Very good. Point 3, which is great, use the spotlight. Again, this is not about spinning the story. I've been called in my past a bit of a spin doctor sometimes because of taking advantage of these opportunities to do more for the brand and put them in a positive light. I think that's grasping the opportunity, but it's about mining the spotlight. How do we rebuild trust? How do we reform culture and demonstrate accountability? ChatGPT. That's it. Thank you so much for that. I would love to hear your thoughts on this. I don't know which way to go. Living in the Middle East, it's a very different approach to brand visibility and accountability here sometimes, depending on the occasion. So it's interesting to see this happening and playing out in real time. As a comms professional, and I think I've seen this a lot on LinkedIn in particular. And by the way, the LinkedIn post where I took the screenshot of the chap changing his job on LinkedIn as a joke has been my biggest impressions in years, actually. I think in the space of 2 days, I got over 10,000 impressions, which is which is ridiculous. And I shouldn't let that influence me into chasing more of these memes and real-time things. Otherwise, I become part of the problem, I think, as well. But interesting one. I'd love to hear your thoughts on the video. I know I've got absolutely no viewers right now, but maybe some will come and see this video a bit later on. I'll leave you for now. Thank you so much.